I would suggest that we start. So I welcome everybody to our webinar, Jira Align Breakfast. So hopefully all of you received the lunch boxes. Due to the public holiday situation with Eastern, it might be that that some of you didn't receive it today or yesterday. So it might be that you receive it in late afternoon or even tomorrow. We apologize for that and hope that you still enjoy the lunch if you receive it tomorrow. So today we want to talk about Jira Align. I have Shane and Anamaria with me. So the roadmap for today is that we talk about Jira Align, do a quick introduction. Later we do a short live demo. I mean, Jira Align is very complex and huge, so we can only show parts of it. And last but not least, we do a Q&A session. So about Venature, we are an Atlassian solution partner and obviously also a Jira Align partner. We provide solutions for the whole Atlassian stack, and we try to create innovative solutions and ideas for you and support all your problems or requests in all industries. Yes. So we are founded in 2016. Since 2018, we have subsidiaries in Croatia and Turkey. We also got a Platinum Solution Partner. Since 2019, we are also top vendor and enterprise solution partner. And we got rewarded by Atlassian for the Rising Star in EMEA. Since 2020, we are also InfoBip certified partner. And in this year, we're going to opening subsidiaries in United Emirates and Bosnia-Herzegovina. Okay, I would say we directly dive in our Jira Align talk. So I've prepared a few questions for Shane, who is hopefully able to answer all of them. So I guess I guess most of you are not familiar with Jira Align. So you have obviously heard that there is this product and that it might be very helpful. And but yeah, further that, I guess the most of you don't have more details about that. So Shane, I would say, can you give us a short introduction? What is Jira Align?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you, Alexander. And yeah, it's great to be joining you for the webinar this morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope the breakfast boxes are to your liking. My name is Shane McGuire, and I work for Atlassian, and I am a Jira Align specialist. Now, Atlassian, everyone knows Atlassian from Jira, and Jira Align is different. Jira Align is Atlassian's enterprise-wide tool that enables our customers to scale Agile, which is now becoming a mainstream practice. Organizations that recognize the advantages of Agile development have learned to coordinate the work of multiple Agile teams and adapt their governance and leadership processes to support Agile methodologies and Agile at scale methodologies. Top-down strategic adoption of Agile is common, and it's driven by digital business transformation initiatives. Okay.
So what are the key benefits of Jira Align? What do you say?
So yeah, Jira Align allows organizations to connect strategy through to delivery. That's the fundamental part of our proposition. And you know, by doing that, we create this visibility And we have visibility where organizations perhaps didn't have visibility before. So people working in a portfolio, driving strategic initiatives, looking for a return on the investment for their work, and the company's strategies, seeing how are we tracking against those strategies. They can actually look into a single pane of glass and see the status of the work for real time. So they have visibility, and the people doing the work, they have visibility of the context. They can see the why. How is what I'm doing actually connected to the strategy? How is my work helping the company progress? So yeah, it's visibility at all levels where perhaps we didn't have it before. We have the ability then to create alignment. So how do we actually make sure the teams are working on the same things, and they're not actually overlapping each other, but they are complementing each other. So with that alignment, then we can actually make sure our teams are focused on the most valuable things, and that's the things that are most valuable in the eyes of our customers. So it's that focus on value. Yeah.
So if I would summarize it, JiraAlign makes sure that actually the development teams or all teams work actually on the most important stuff, which supports the strategy, right? Because we know it from our customers, even with Jira, they do great work, but after the end, it might be that they're starting doing features which are not actually supporting the business strategy here. And that's where JiraAlign can support. So what would you say, what's your favorite feature then?
So there's a lot of good things in JiraAlign. It serves a very wide audience in the organization. But yeah, I would say that my favorite is roadmaps. And I like the road mapping functionality because you can create strategic roadmaps at a portfolio level. So you can have roadmaps with the biggest things that your organization is actually building. We might call those business epics. And you can then have more tactical roadmaps. So, things that are being worked on for the programs. And the two levels of roadmap, they sit together very well. So we have our strategic roadmaps and then our tactical roadmaps. And then we can use roadmaps to plan. So what are we going to do over the next period of time? And that might be a 3-month period of time. That might be a 12-month period of time, depending on whether we're doing tactical work or strategic work. And so, yeah, they have that planning functionality, and we can create what-if scenarios with our roadmaps. And then of course, we can track the work in those roadmaps as well. And so we see a real-time status across time periods. We have a time dimension, and we have the work hierarchy in place as well. So yeah, there's a lot of really good things with roadmaps, and of course we can put milestones on them, and there's a lot of great functionality associated with roadmaps, and I think they are central to what JiraAlign can do for an organization.
Cool. So in the live demo, I will definitely show this feature that all of you can actually see what Shane loves so much about JiraAlign. Okay, now it gets interesting. Are there actually any competing products or alternatives to JiraAlign? I mean, we all know that Jira software is available. So what are the competing products to JiraAlign?
Yeah, so there are. Agile has been around now for quite some time, and Scaling Agile and Scaled Agile Inc., that has been around for about 10 years now, maybe a little bit longer. And there are other products in this space. And there is a Gartner Magic Quadrant. The last one was done March 2020. And unsurprisingly, JiraAlign is recognized as a leader in that Magic Quadrant. and everybody can access that information. So yeah, we are recognized as a leader, but there are other challenges in that space. But yeah, the market has been going for more than 10 years. So there's constantly new vendors coming in and trying to be successful in the space. And yeah, what we also see is the vendors that are associated with traditional ways of working. So you have projects, you want to do waterfall, you want to do Gantt charts. We see those vendors now competing in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for Enterprise Agile Planning, which is what we're talking about today. And those vendors are trying to leverage their heritage in work management, but it's traditional work management, and they're trying to compete in that agile space now as well. So yeah, that's the two main types of competitors that we're seeing.
Okay, and how about apps which might extend Jira? So what's the main difference here?
Yeah, so often customers who are using Jira, and we have a lot of customers that use Jira, of course, they will look and often they will already be using apps of some sort to create a team of teams view, and they're very easy to download, and you can get started with them very quickly. Yeah, but basically what they do is they create that team of teams view. And Jira Align is much more versatile. There's lots of different functionality in it. It serves a much wider audience in the organization. So it's more versatile, it's more resilient. So there's lots of different deployment models for Jira Align. If you need it on premise, you can have it on premise. If you need it in a private cloud, you can have it in a private cloud. And then of course it's available in a public cloud. And it is much more feature rich than the apps that you'll find available out there. And yeah, so it's purpose built for organizations looking to scale agile across their organization, whereas the apps are generally they're what we would call a point solution, and organizations will use them for a number of years and they may be fine, and then they will look for something bigger.
Okay, now an interesting question maybe. So can I use Jira Align without Jira, or is Jira mandatory to use Jira Align?
So that's a good question. But yeah, we are Atlassian, and people may not know the name Atlassian, but they will often know the name of Jira. And so the Jira tool that we have is ubiquitous across many organizations, and it's how a lot of organizations actually got into Agile. And so, yeah, there's a lot of Jira out there. A lot of our customers use it. And so our ideal customer will already have Jira. They will be using some sort of scaling methodology, and they will have a journey planned or some sort of vision that they're working towards for scaling Agile. So that's our ideal customer. But we do also have customers that use Microsoft Azure DevOps. They will have certain teams or certain programs in their organization that have a requirement to use it. And then they will have other teams that use Jira, and they need a view across that. They'll have a program requirement where they need to have the Azure DevOps teams working in their way and their Jira teams working in another way. And they want to see a single view. They want to be able to track dependencies across the different areas. And yeah, they want the teams to be able to work the way they need to work. And yeah, that's absolutely something that we can support as well. So Microsoft Azure DevOps is possible.
So I guess we have a rough overview about Jira Align as product. So the question might occur, why do I use Jira Align? So why should customers actually use enterprise agile planning tools like Jira Align?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so Agile has, as I said, Agile has been around for some time, and scaling Agile has been around for the last 10 years at least. And scaled Agile has become the dominant way that organizations create software today. That's how, and beyond software, it's used in hardware type situations as well, software, hardware, firmware. And so, yeah, scaling Agile has become dominant. 5 years ago, it wasn't, but today it is. And when we are out there talking to our customers, they will have tens of teams. Our bigger ones will have hundreds of teams, and our biggest customers will have thousands of teams. And so you need a tool to coordinate across all of those different teams, to coordinate across all the different programs. And you can try and do it on a whiteboard, which is what a lot of our customers start with. And you'll see PI planning rooms, program planning rooms, tribe planning rooms. They will have massive whiteboards. They will use the entire walls. They will use ladders. They will use string. They will use all sorts of different things to try and create these massive program plans, or even portfolio plans, which we've seen too. And they might actually get to do that over 2 days, but then it's actually out of date as soon as the plan is done, because once the teams start doing work, then the status doesn't flow back into the physical board. So somebody needs to be constantly keeping the two things in sync. So I would say, coming back to your original question of why Jira Align. So yeah, enterprise agile planning, recognized as a leader. Scaled Agile is the dominant way that people get work done. And generally, when you're starting to do this type of work at scale, you need to go digital. You need a tool to support you.
Okay. Due to the current situation, do you see that the need of Jira Align has increased or grown due to Corona?
We have, yeah. So, yeah, I'd say generally Corona has been something that has really made our customers focus. And so customers that were on a digital journey and they're trying to digitalize their business, they've really had to stop and give it a hard think and look at, well, have we got the right support in place? Have we got the right tools in place? And yeah, getting over we know we need to do something and we're actually going to do something. That's called the knowing doing gap. And sometimes you need a little bit of external pressure to help, because yeah, that getting over that knowing doing gap, that requires some change management, or potentially quite a bit of change management. And managing change is, it can be painful. We don't like to change unless we have to. So getting over that knowing doing gap with some external pressure from Corona has actually, we've seen that a lot. So it's something that has helped us to get our customers focused.
Yeah, okay, understood. For me personally, I would ask, what type or kinds of companies is Jira actually relevant? Could you maybe summarize it to the type so that our audience know, okay, they are actually in focus or not?
Yeah, so so I would say any organization that is doing lots of software development, I would start with that. And that's pretty much any large organization today. And then, yeah, if you're using lots of Jira or Azure DevOps, you're using a scaling framework, perhaps it's safe, it doesn't have to be, but perhaps it's safe, and you are investing in additional levels of agility in your organization to try and increase your level of business agility, then I would say that would be somebody that would be interested in Jira Align. There's value in Jira Align for those organizations. Where we have seen particular success and our customers being particularly successful is in banking, insurance, telecommunications, entertainment, high tech, and software companies. So software is their business, and they use Jira Align to build that software. That's where we seem to be really liked. But I wouldn't want to exclude other organizations out of that as well.
Okay. So for these types of companies, which people within the company do you think Jira Align is relevant? I mean, you talked about software development companies, so obviously the software developers, maybe the Scrum Masters, the product owners. So, but I guess there are even more people involved in Jira Align, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So it is the people involved in the delivery of the software, the people that are building it. So the team level people, that they're absolutely important here, and their job is building it right. And then you've got the portfolio people who are looking for the right things to build. So are we building the right things right now? So that's the portfolio audience. And then you'll have people who are between the portfolio and between the teams, and we might call them the program people. Perhaps there's a bunch of product people in there as well. And their job is to try and tie up the two things. So we've got strategic initiatives here. We've got teams building things here. How do we make sure we're actually building the right thing right now? And that's what the people in the middle are doing. And so, we have a portfolio audience, and they're interested in strategy. How are we tracking to these strategy? Are we delivering the right outcomes as opposed to outputs for our customers? And what's the finances look like? What did we budget? What was our budget for this particular PI, for this particular program, and how are we tracking to budget? So that's the portfolio and the executive audience. And then we have the program audience, the release trained engineers, the functional leads, the lead developers. And we also have the product audience, so product owners, product management, product directors, people associated with designing the product. And then, of course, it sits next to Jira. So we have this bi-directional sync. And so you might actually have people that would use Jira as well as Jira Align to get their jobs done. Perhaps there are people that would just continue to use Jira to get their jobs done as well.
Okay, so we know what Jira Align does and why we need it. Maybe I would now welcome Anamaria to our chat, because I think for our audience it's interesting how we can actually implement Jira Align, if there are any best practice. And I think Anamaria is the best person here to answer this question. Maybe Anamaria, you can shortly introduce yourself and then answer the question, how is Jira Align implemented?
Super. Thank you, Alex. Good morning, everyone. My name is Anamaria Bonyhadi. I'm one of the Jira Align enterprise advocates working for Atlassian. Have been with the company for almost 6 years. Alex and Venature, thanks for having us today. How to implement Jira Align? Well, first of all, don't do it on your own. So as Alex was also saying, Jira Align is a very comprehensive solution solving for a comprehensive challenge. So we have developed quite neat service packages to help you make sure that the implementation goes smoothly. This we deliver through or by our Atlassian Jira Align partners like Venature to make sure that we can provide you the the necessary local support. It's certainly a step-by-step implementation, and we are there for you on every stage of this journey. So we have developed different packages that can help you make sure making the right step and using the right or taking the right decision in terms of rolling out Jira Align. And so we really do this with our partners together to make sure that we can adjust to your tempo, your speed, yeah, we do it together, I would say.
Okay, thank you. So there is a Jira Align bootcamp. Could you explain what it is and what is done within this bootcamp?
Alex, do you mean the bootcamp for our partners or?
No, for our customers.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so we kind of have two kind of jump starts. One we call the bootcamp for our partners, which is making sure that our partners are fully compatible with the Jira Align implementation. And then the Jira Align Jumpstart is really the I would say the production service package that we have developed for our customers to make sure to be set up for success. So if you decide to go ahead to implement Jira Align, then it's kind of building a castle. And I'd like to refer back to Shane showing the different floors actually in the solution. So if you decide to implement Jira Align, then you will want to start with good ground and good ways of working to start building your fundament, which is extremely important. And so once you're done with this fundament, then you can build the first level. So then that would be your team of teams structure. And we like to build on Jira as a good fundament. Then you go to your team of teams structure, make sure that that's well configured in Jira Align. And once that there you have a good base, then you can go to the first floor and really configure portfolio in your castle. And if that first floor is also well established, then you can go to the rooftop terrace, I would say, and make sure that that executive pyramid is available. So practically vertically, your complete organization is connected to where team is work is actually getting done. And so again, this is really your journey. And the first step to make sure that this is going to be successful, we would recommend to start with our Jumpstart production Jumpstart service package that Alex was referring to, which is really helping you to get this lighthouse defined in your company. So this is your kind of proof of value to make sure that the first 1 or 2 programs will be up and running in Jira Align. First, we would start with some discovery to really make sure that we have the right understanding of your challenges as well as your priorities. Again, we do this together with our partners. And then we would make sure to build a good plan how we want to configure Jira Align for your specific use cases. And then we work with these 1 or 2 first team of teams structure programs, as also Shane was referring to them, to make sure that they are trained in using the solution. It's going to be a role-based training that we go through with them. After this, we actually will configure the solution for these teams so they can run a test PI planning, which after we go live with it. And then with live going, I would say be careful, because once you show what these teams who have gone through the Jumpstart have achieved with the Jumpstart, once this is shown to other teams, your mailbox probably will be flooded with requests from other programs that they want it as well. We have seen that with a couple of customers already. So it's a really successful package to build a small lighthouse with Jira Align, connect it to your Jira, and make it visible what's really possible with the solution. Does that answer the question?
Yes. Sorry, I meant the Jumpstart. I don't know why I talked about the bootcamp. Anyways, so if I'm not mistaken, so if you decide to actually implement Jira Align, so this is not a process like implementing Jira software where we talk about 1 or 2 weeks, maybe a few months. So can you maybe give a roughly indication how long it takes? I mean, I know the answer. it's obvious, but I hope you can explain why it's even more time intensive than just implementing Jira.
Absolutely. And actually, Atlassian has been very strict about this, because we want our customers to become successful. So when it comes to Jira, Confluence, or Bitbucket, or core Atlassian products that I think you all know very well, you just go on our website, download a trial license, and you can actually figure it out. And once you know how big you want it to be built, then you also involve partners, make sure that you use the best practices, and really implement it for yourself. On the other hand, Jira Align is an extremely comprehensive solution, really solving a lot of challenges in the space, not only in the team space where software developers are working, but really beyond that. It's really connecting the why and the what. Given that, to make sure that it is really connected throughout the whole organization, and we are creating transparency, it's a process, and it doesn't just take a person or a team to get that done. You must be ready for change, for learnings, and to be able to pivot, to be more successful also within your organization and also in the industry. And to make that happen, that change is not happening through the night, unfortunately. But there will be certainly some initial conversations that you will have with your partners and Atlassian to make sure that Jira Align is the right solution for you, which after you can sign up for this Jumpstart package that I was speaking about. And once we have technically enabled the Jira Align connection, then we would take about 90 days, about 3 months to work together with you on this Jumpstart and make sure to build that fundament. And after that, it's up to you how you want to scale the solution within the organization. Obviously, there are 2 directions. You can go to scale horizontally and then add additional trains, programs, this team of team structure to the solution. And then you can also start scaling vertically and connect these teams into the portfolio layer, into the first floor of your castle. And then for that, we have also developed a similar setup package, a little more strategic given its portfolio focused. And that gives you really the base. So within about 6-7 months, you should be able to have a couple of programs and 1-2 portfolios configured in the solution with trained users who know where to go, what to do. And then it really depends on your state of maturity when it comes to agility and your goals, how fast you can and you want to scale the solution into the different directions and across the organization.
Okay, maybe we can talk about success. Do you have some stories about customers where the Jira Align actually helped and how they could actually optimize their business with Jira Align?
Absolutely, I'd love to. There are 2 examples I'd like to mention. One of them I was referring to previously. About a year ago, we have started to work with a pharmaceutical company. It's a global organization, so some of their programs are here in Europe, in the German language region. And then they also have a couple of programs and a larger part of the organization in the US. And so we've started to work with them to really kind of clarify and have a better ways of working and breaking down silos. They were really missing transparency and they really didn't feel as connected as they wish they would have been. So we started to implement Jira Align and the first engineering teams here in Europe have been extremely happy and successful with the results after this 3-month Jumpstart. And then they participated with Jira Align on one of their PI plannings, a global PI planning. And at the end of that, they were presenting their findings and their plans. After that, their product owner for Jira Align set up a call with us and mentioned that he has received 80 emails throughout this presentation because all other programs wanted to start using Jira Align as well. They saw it was such a difference between their traditional ways of doing work and using Jira Align to do their daily work. After this, I would say 6-month initial period, we have rolled out now several other programs and started to build out their portfolio scale as well. They are extremely happy, and they have discovered quite some duplicated work that they don't have to do anymore, and they are much better connected. There is less friction, there is less late night meetings, because if they are looking for certain information to take decisions, they just go into Jira Align and they are enabled to do fact-based decision making, because the different roles in the organization can find the necessary information very easily. And then maybe another one, which is, I would say, one of our largest customers, AT&T, and here I also am allowed to call it a name or give it a name. AT&T is one of our largest customers, and they were already working with one of our Atlassian partners in the US. It's a US telco company. And they really wanted to create visibility and break down silos in the organization. So with the increased employee empowerment, with the help of Jira Align, they have managed to actually get the deliveries, the release cycles faster. So they have saved a lot of time. I'm just looking at my notes to get the numbers right. They have reduced delivery times for certain capabilities from 14 to 6 months, which is quite some saving. They also speeded up to getting to the market by more than 40%. And I think that one of the biggest wins in the initial 8-9 months of their Jira Align experience was that they have eliminated duplicated work, and they have saved more than $750,000 with eliminating that duplicated work, because they have created visibility across the teams. So this duplicated work didn't have a chance to happen, which I think is extremely crucial. And so the production release qualities got also much better. So obviously at the end of the day, the customers were happier. And that's what also Atlassian stands for, to unleash the potential of every team, and to make sure that you can do the best work of your life.
Thank you, Anamaria. So I would suggest that we actually do a deep dive into the tool. So I will present you this Jira Align thing we have talked some along in the live demo. So as I already stated, it's a huge tool with a lot of functionalities. So I will roughly show you the basics on different levels. So to understand how Jira Align works, I want to show you the structure. So as Shane already explained, Jira Align supports the whole organization. So that means we have executive teams, portfolio teams, solution teams, program teams, and delivery teams. So we have different levels of the company with different focus and different functions, but all of them, they need to be aligned and working on the same important stuff. And that's what Jira Align want to solve here, so that you get an understanding how Jira Align is actually managing the work. We have these different levels of task or interest in the company, and Jira Align is able to manage them on the different levels. But also we are able to manage them on time, and we can plan releases, for example, software releases, based on all this information. So that's the background you need to understand when I go to show you the system. One sec. So I switch directly to Jira Align. So I hope you see my screen. That's not correct. One sec. Can you confirm that you see my screen?
We can see it, Alex.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. And the indicator is not working right now, but anyways. So you see right now Jira Align, and what we see is here the strategy room. So to understand this company and to understand what we're actually doing, Jira Align has all the different levels, as already mentioned, within this tool. So we can see the mission of the company, we can see the vision of the company, the values, but all the way down to the epics and features and stories. So as management, you can see if the company is actually working on the mission or the visions or even the themes, because you can directly see how many misaligned items you have within the system. But also as a regular developer, you can see why you're actually working on a specific task. So you can directly see what is the mission, why should we actually do this, what do we want to achieve. So this hierarchy here, which is indicated, shows us directly how we want to work and what we want to achieve. So this is very helpful for various people, not only the management, so or even the developers can see why we're actually working on something. So what we can see on the left side is the menu. On the menu, we navigate between all the different functionalities in Jira Align. So we have here also the different levels like solution, program, and team level. And on each level, we have different functionalities like dashboardings, but we can also manage the items based on this level or open reports to track the progress and the alignment on these different items. So let's start with the portfolio level. So I have to reload this once. In the portfolio room, we can actually see, based on the portfolio we have set in the context on the top, how the progress is, how the financials are, and how the resources are. So let's start with the financials, for example. So for the company, it's very important that we actually work on stuff which has the highest return. So in Jira Align, you can define and also analyze which strategy and which features have the highest return and compare it with the effort. So what we can see on the left side menu is which themes have how much effort and what strategic value they actually do. So it would be very bad if we have themes with a lot of effort, with least business value, and we prioritize it as very important. So you can on the one side see how the cost efficiency ratio is, but also compare it to the priority of the different themes. And in this view, we directly see how much budget is allocated. I just do the plan for this. So on the left side, we can see how much budget is actually allocated for the different themes. Here we can again compare if the most important stuff is planned the correct way. In the middle, we see our increments, and we can see how much they are actually in progress. And for each increment, we can even deep dive in and see the business epics, see the allocated budget, the estimate, and how much we actually spend. So on the financial view, we can see completely why are we working on what, based on the business value, the strategic value, but also say or see where do we invest how much. So let's go to the resources part. Based on the resources, we can do the same thing. So we can say, okay, how do we actually distribute our efforts based on the themes? We can make sure, so the management can make sure, or even the portfolio manager can make sure that the team is working on the most important stuff. So it would be very interesting if we have a lot of effort on stuff which is not prioritized high. So in our case, the AI topic is the most important one. And on the same side, it has the most effort allocated. And here we can again see the different business epics, the progress on it, but this time based on the efforts we have in here. So if we hover about these numbers, we can also see the drill down to the different stories and if they are all estimated. So we can also detect if there are unestimated stories, and there might be that the effort is actually not correct allocated. Additionally, we see how much effort we have allocated or load we have allocated per program. So we see that the AI topic has actually a very high load, over 200%. So it might be that we can't deliver everything due to this high load. We need to check if we can get more people working on this to actually solve that. And last but not least, the most important stuff for the management, even also for the portfolio manager, is how is the progress. So on the left side, again, we can see how much we have actually planned in the scope and how much actually got delivered. So we can track if these two actually match. And we can see based on our teams how much they are currently completed. So we can see we're doing well, very well here. And again, we could deep dive in to each element and see here again the progress of each feature and who is actually the owner and how much effort is planned for that and what the status is here. So as you can see, we can completely see on the portfolio level how we are doing and what might be the problems not delivering the correct stuff or not in time. So let's go a little bit deeper in the program level. So on the left menu, we could go to the program level, and we have here different functionalities like the program room and a program board. So if we go, for example, in the program board, we can see for a specific program and for a specific increment the current task or features. So what we can see here in the visual diagram is on the one side, we see the objectives, the milestones, the features, and even the dependencies between these sprints and teams. And based on the color codes, we can see the status of all these elements. So we're currently in sprint 27. And if we look in sprint 26, we can see that the most stuff is green. And if we have this indicator here, that means that the product owner accepted this story. So that means we are very well in sprint 2016. And we can see also the different teams working on the different elements. So, but we have in sprint 27 a few elements which are yellow or even red. So we can later on use it as exception monitor to check why actually there are problems. So in this case, we have open risk with this feature. So that means the release train engineer can check, hey, why is this risk still open? How can we solve this? But even though we can go in the future sprint and check what's happening here. So if we go in this element, for example, we can see that some stories for the next sprint are actually not assigned to a team. So we definitely need to make sure that these stories are assigned to a specific team. Otherwise, these stories will not be delivered to the specific sprint, which might occur in a late delivery of software. So as you can see, we can use it on the one side for the team for doing sprint planning, but on the other side also for release train engineers and program managers to monitor these exceptions. I have talked about the dependencies. So Jira Align has a very powerful dependency management system. So in Jira, you can, for example, just create a link and say this story is blocked or blocking something else. In Jira Align, we can create also these dependencies, but we can create dependencies on various levels. So we can state, for example, in the team AI, that someone else has a dependency for us. So we can check in here. And we will see that the team mobile is requesting for on our team on AI a specific a specific task. So you can see based on the status, it's currently just requested. So the AI team should now commit to this dependency, so they can state till when they actually want to deliver this. And if we go, for example, in one green dependency, we can also see later on that this dependency is also delivered. So in this example, we can see it's not only requested and accepted by the depending team, the dependency, so the story which might be delivered to sprint 14 was also delivered to the correct time. So it's not only that we can see all the dependencies between the teams, and based on the color coding, we can see the status, but we can also monitor, hey, why is the dependency here in red? What can we do to solve this? So in the best case, everything is green, or at least blue, that it means that it's not delivered yet. So due to the time, let's directly jump into the roadmap functionality, which was Shane referring to. So based on the context I have set on the top, I can define what tasks / epics and themes are displayed here. So what can we see here? I see on the one side, on the shading, how the progress of a specific epic is here. And also I see, based on the color coding, that or how the status of this epic is. So for example, the most of them are actually green, but I have already opened a specific one, which is red. It's critical. And we can directly also see, okay, this feature has a critical status and we might need to check it. But also we can just per drag and drop adjust the timing of these tasks or features which needs to be implemented. So we can on the one side see when what gets delivered and also in which status it is. But on the other hand, the team can actually manage when they want to deliver specific stories or functionalities. So this is very powerful. It's comparable slightly to advanced roadmaps because it has the same functionality of syncing it back. So I can do all my plannings and checkings, and if I'm fine, then I can sync it back. But again, it's much more powerful due to the progress indication and due to the possibility to actually set and detect the health of a specific business epic here. Okay, so due to the time, you can see Jira Align can do a lot of stuff. I would actually be proud to show you even more, but the timing doesn't allow this. So I think, or I hope that you got a quick overview about Jira Align due to Shane and Anamaria, and also do the live demo. So in the last few minutes, I would use the time to actually go in the Q&A session of our audience. So let's see. We have one question here. So Goran is asking, so does that really mean that we can have Jira software license of 10K users and Jira Align license of 100 users? I think, Anamaria, that's a question regarding the Jumpstart program, right?
Yes, thanks, Alex. So initially, 100 users for JiraAlign might be enough, but on the long run, we tend to aim for a 1-to-4 ratio between your connected Jira users, so the users that are connected into JiraAlign, and your JiraAlign full users, to make sure that you have enough JiraAlign access in your organization. So if you have a 10,000 user Jira license and you have, let's say, 4,000 developers using the Jira instance, which then will be connected into JiraAlign, then on the long run, you will need 1,000 JiraAlign full user licenses. We won't force you to make a decision and investment on day number one. We have a dynamic license model, and together with Vanisher, we are here and happy to support you on this journey, because as we have explained, this I would say change will not happen within a week. Does that answer the question?
I don't know, but I think that's a pretty good answer to this question. I mean, there was one other question regarding the license. Shane was already answered this. So for Jira Align, about the pricing, you can find on the official Atlassian website more details about this. I think that doesn't make sense to discuss it in detail. I think, Anamaria, you also explained it very well. So there is one bigger question. I guess that's more Shane's direction. So that would be the last one. You know that Align costs more than Jira software. So my question is, can we just use Jira Align as management overview tool, which not got the same user database, but got the Jira issues which we want to track in it? It's actually pretty close to the question before.
It is, yes. And yeah, again, when we talk about our ideal customer, they've already got Jira. But it may actually be Azure DevOps and or Jira as well. So yeah, we live in a world where the teams are already doing the work and working on building it right. And we want to keep them having the autonomy that they already have. And we want them to be able to get on with it and just get it done. We do also want the appropriate level of visibility at the management level. And, you know, in the world that we have today, we want to make sure that we have that synchronized and real time. So we want the visibility, we want the alignment, and we want the focus on doing the right things right now. And so, yeah, we have Jira Align doing that management layer, if you like, and then synchronized with what the teams are doing. And yes, there is a licensing requirement for Jira Align. And yeah, the way it works out, as Anamaria said, is, you know, it's a fraction of you know, the Jira team requirements. So yeah, you will have, say, 100 people using Jira, and then that will equate to, say, 25 people using Jira Align. I hope I answered that the same way as well as Anamaria did.
There is one last question I can answer. So on the program screen, can we make filters like in progress, done, and to do? And the question is yes. So as I mentioned on the top, you can either select the context where you want to show the functionality, but usually in the different levels, you have still be able to even further filter it based on custom field information or status, for example, or teams, etc. So that's possible. So thank you, Shane. Thank you, Anamaria, for being with us. All these questions and answers you have given, we are sending out later as white paper. So I hope you enjoyed all your lunch, and it was interesting, I hope, for you. I mean, due to the time, it's very hard to present JiraAlign, but still, I hope the message we could say is that it's very powerful for scaling, and it's a great tool if you implement it for the whole company. So it's a great extension for Jira software in regards of scaled Agile. Okay, then thank you and have a great day. Bye.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.